Okay. Ngo po kayong lahat. Salamat po. It is not because I want to impress you their presence, but rather I will just introduce them para malaman po ninyo ang mga opisyal ninyo, kaming taga-gobyerno na binabayaran ninyo to serve the Filipino people. I'd like to, yes, of course, si Jun Yasay. Then we have the Secretary Carlos Dominguez III sa Finance. Then we have Secretary Delfin Lorenzana sa National Defense. He used to be a general in the service of his nation in Mindanao many years ago. Nakakilala kami. Yung mga proponents at nakakatulong sa ating mga kababayan, sila si Secretary Ramon Lopez, yung Go Negosyo. Then we have Secretary Jesus Doresa, who's working very hard. Is the lead part in talking to our brothers and sisters who are sa left, but there's a talk going on between the government and the Communist Party of the Philippines. Si Jesus Doresa is one of the sa panel ng mga sa gobyerno at hopefully, this war on sa ideology, this has been going on for the last 45 years. So I ask the Communist Party, total halos magkapareho tayo ng balahibo. I belong to the left. I'm the first left president ninyo po. Pero hindi po ako komunista. I am not a member of the Communist Party. But I share the same horizons because anak lang po ako. It's not because I am poor, but because I am a son of a migrant doon sa Mindanao, and we started, well, it was a long, hard sacrifice. It was then a frontier town. Then we have Secretary Yasmin Busanlao of the National Commission of Muslim Filipino. At ang tatay ko po ay Cebuano, but on the mother side, ang lolo ko Chinese, ang lola ko Maranao, a Muslim. Then we have Secretary Abul Khair Alonto of the Mindanao Development Authority. Then we have the favorite of yung babae na madaldal. Paborito itas Senator Cayetano. And the next is, ito yung mga abogado ng mga celebrity, mga artista kung naghiwalayan, nagkadimandahan. Dito siya medyo perfect. Attorney Panelo, the presidential advisor. Then we have a guy who's kilala niyo to by name, but he's a music man actually. He sings sa pakantayan kung may panahon pa. He's really a rock and roll guy of the yesteryears. Ramon Jacinto of the Economic Affairs and Information and Technology. And of course, we have here the beautiful wife of Senator Cayetano, si Ma'am Alarno, the mayor of Taguig City. Si Ma'am talaga gusto niya background lang. Then of course, Mr. Ambassador, thank you for the warm welcome, mga kababayan kong Pilipino. We have a very limited time. That's why I think I'm the only one who's allowed to talk here sa aming entourage. But let me start by just saying marami pong salamat kay Sultan sa Brunei, King for his good friend. Your Majesty, thank you for hosting a lot of Filipinos in your state and for being kind to them. Please accept you and your family and to the people of Brunei our gratitude, and we will not forget that. Maraming salamat po. Sa inyo na naman, maraming salamat na nanalo ako rito. Well, tell you something. I am not a member of the national persona. Hindi ako ninyo kilala. Mayor lang po ako ng isang siyudad sa Mindanao. I was an outsider really from the political elite. Hindi ako ililista kasi kaya ang problema ngayon sa Pilipinas. I am not a member of the elite. I cannot be one, and I will never be one. But you know, nung election, from the outside, anywhere, I had a landslide victory. That's the reason why umabot ng 6 million yung lamang ko sa the nearest rival. It's because of what was the message about. Ang problema sa Pilipinas, matagal na tayong, just give you an analogy. Ang Pilipinas take off, nakaposisyon, patakbo. But hanggang ngayon, hindi talaga nag-lift. There is no lift to bring it to the air of just even a comfortable life or a peaceful life for everybody. Tumatakbo lang tayo sa runway ng... And ako po'y, I've been the mayor of Davao City for 23 years. Naging congressman ako. I was, once upon a time, the vice mayor of my daughter, yung nanuntok ng si Inday. She's now back being mayor. But she's hindi masyado sa mobile because she lost 2 of her, yung son ng triplets. It's a very sad for an expectant grandfather. So much expectations. Inuuna mo na kasi na laruin mo gano'n, then just na sabihin sa'yo there was a... So, well anyway, ang mensahe kasi lang lahat, sinabi ko, hindi ninyo ako kilala. Hindi naman ako sikat. Ayaw ko namang sumikat. At noon pa, during the time of Ramos, they would like to see me in the cabinet, and kay Arroyo, pati kay Estrada, na I've always refused a cabinet position because I just wanted to be, yung simple na buhay na walang yabang, probinsyano eh. But you know what? It's destiny. I mean, I'm not saying that, I'm not belittling the party, my party, PDP. But it was almost a moribund thing. It was not moving except the father, Senator Pimentel, and the son, si Coco, who's now the Senate President. Yun lang ho ang ano. Wala ho akong except Jaime Marcos and Governor Abet of Garcia sa Bataan. Wala ho akong governor. Dalawa lang. Yung isa sa Mindanao, I would not like to mention the name of the province, but only because naging kabahagi ko siya ng buhay ko noon. Wala na ngayon. Hindi mo niyo kilala rin yun. You don't know her, so... But of course, you guys from there, alam ninyo yan. It was an open secret that I was having an affair with her. Pero ngayon wala. Balik tayo doon sa tamang istorya. Pupunta na tayo sa babae. Yan ang mahirap. Sometimes, I'm like that. Pagka just spark ko, mababae, parang akong Karabaw na pwede mong hilain ng istorya, puro babae. Well, anyway, I won, and I really was trying to figure out why. Why? Wala akong pera, wala naman nagbibigay, and as I have promised you, and you can confirm this with everybody, wala akong tinanggap na pera sa mga malaking negosyante. Sabi ko, wala akong tinanggap dyan sa mga, the usual, gusto ko sabihin, pero nandiyan na yan. Kasi ayaw kong makompromise. So, why? Anyway, ganito yan. Ang Pilipinas, matagal na sanang nasa itaas. It could have been soaring the skies of progress and development. Maybe hindi kasing altitude ng umabot ka doon na almost the edge of the universe. But makatake off lang sana an administration after administration. A mayor ako, I was a living spectator to what was really unfolding in our lives. Election after election, puro binubula mo, nagbulahan. Kaya nung nakita ko, nobody was talking about the conflict in Mindanao. Sabi ko, we might really lose a piece of real estate here. Nobody was talking about drugs, and almost all of them, except, how can they talk about righteousness in government? How do you explain a graft-free enterprise? Mahirap kasi yung mga doon, sila mismo siguro, but yung military nila mismo, yung aid, kasama doon sa droga Paano? Saan pupunta ang Pilipino? You must remember that there are 6,000 policemen contaminated with drugs in the Philippines. Kaya the last ang listahan, hindi ko na nilabas. Kasi it will just shatter the dream of the Filipinos. Iko-contain ko na lang ito. In whatever manner you'd want me to do it, basta alam ko, pati ang problema, ang mga mayors, pati barangay captains, almost 6,000 of them. And for the first time, a senator was elected to the national, opening the portals of the government to narco-politics. Kasi, tingnan mo, I was said, mahirap ang bunganga ni Duterte madumi. What? Kasi nagmumura ako. May iba, 6 generals in the police, into drugs. So they were the first ones to be fired. Na ito ngayong iba, yung malalaki, most of itong mayors, they play ang problema kasi pagka maswerte talaga ako yung pinili. Hindi kasi ganito Sa Davao, yung naging mayor ako, dati akong prosecutor fiscal. So araw-araw nasa korte ako trying to secure a conviction just to send to prison itong mga durugista. Kaya galit ako every time a case is fixed or every time the piece of evidence changes hands, ang dumadating sa akin tawas, an alum. Hindi na yung pareho yan sila, crystal. So these were the trying times of my life. Kaya nung kung walang mag-uusap nito, walang bubunggo nitong mga animal na to, kawawa ang bayan ko. Remember, why am I here? I am here because I love my country and I love the Filipino people. Kaya ganon. Ngayon, what drove me to the presidency? Patriotism. Small time lang. Small town mayor for the love of his country. No big deal. Walang pakialam kung mahal ninyo ang bayan ninyo. Basta sa akin, my country. Kaya sinabi ko, what is wrong in this statement? do not destroy my country because I will kill you. Simple lang yan. Do not destroy the youth of the land and deprive us of a brighter tomorrow for the next generation. What is wrong there? Human rights. Anak ka. Kaya ako nagmumura kasi napakabobo naman nila. Hindi ako galit sa kanila. But I'm trying to say, I am totally exasperated, that's the word, na hindi nila alam ang batas, that it is not a crime even for a civilian Filipino walking the streets to say, I hate the criminals, I hope they would die, I will kill them if I catch them. Perfectly all right. That's in defense. That statement is in defense of my country and people. Alam mo kasi, ayaw nilang makinig. We are devastated. That is why instead of just taking the usual police punitive action for arrest, mga ano dyan, sabi ko, I will declare war. Why? Again, 3 million. And that was 2 years ago. That figure was given by General Santiago when he was the head of the PDEA, Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. Dalawang taon na, almost 3. Itong akin ngayon, I'm still counting. So aabot ito, by the looks of it, from the number of the surrenderies that you saw on TV, it would reach, kasi 700 and it became 800. By the end of the year, I would have to deal with another 1 million. So, imagine mo, that 4 million is not contained in a room or a municipality province only. It's nakasabog yung 4 million all throughout the country. So, anong gusto nilang gawin ko sa bayan ko? They keep on threatening me about sending me to the International Court of Law. Sinabi ko na nga I am willing to rot in jail for the Filipino. Hindi ba niyo maintindihan yan? So do not keep on threatening or intimidating me, calling my attention. Napaka-corny mo naman. I find this ridiculous. How can you send to prison a president declaring war against the drug? Look what happened to Latin America. Almost failed states. Basahin mo yung Narcos, kung nakita niyo tape, and read Ion Grillo, ION-GRILLO, online. It's there. It's the South American experience of how the drugs resulted in so many failed states. Hindi mangyari sa akin. My God, di talaga ako papayag. Sorry na lang. Kaya kung sabihin nila na 3,000 ang namatay, well, alam mo kasi, huwag tayo magbulahan. Yung iba talaga dyan, pinatay talaga salvage. Yan tinatawag ng salvage or extrajudicial killing. I will not say there was none. Mayroon. Pero kung sabihin mo, state-sponsored killing, order ko na patayan niya, kakalukuhan niya. Ang nangyari dyan, hinayaan namin, nag-intriga kami, maghuli ka dyan, pero hayaan mo lang, sabihin mo ang sa kanya, nagsabi, so you had to create the intrigues. But remember that there were so many policemen, yung tinatawag nilang ninja. As a matter of fact, 2,000 apiece ako sa ulo nila. Because they are out of the service, they are now hunted. And mag-warning ako, abot ito ng Pilipinas. Adre, wag tayo magkasalubong. Pag nagkasulubong tayo, sorry na lang talaga. Totoo. Either patayin mo ako, o ng ina mo, to. Hindi ko mapigil ng galit ko. Hindi naman si Duterte, hindi statesman, that my countrymen would like to get rid of the problems. No such thing. Wala ho ako. Ang pagkaalam ko, all that I know is that I ran for president and I won. I never applied to be a statesman. Hindi ko kaya yung prim and proper. Hindi ko kaya magbarong. Kita maong na tayo dyan. Barong, kate. Ako talagang maong. You know why? Sabihin ko na sa inyo. Bakit sudita he cannot dress properly? Well, if you are looking for a sartorial elegance, all you have to do is look at Attorney Panelo. Tingnan mo sapatos. Pati yung langaw, may slide sa kasyahin ng sapatos niya. Tingnan mo. At akin, di walang shine, walang brush. Tissue lang yan sa banyo. Okay na. Never. Tinanggap ako ninyo ganito. Ganito ako. Bakit? Why do you? And for me, sabi nila, yung mga Manila guys, hindi nila alam. Yung elitista talaga. So you might want to tone down your curses, your epithets, your slurs. Well, depende sa crowd. If I am before yung ganitong kung mga durugista kayong siguro ngayon mga 50 natanggap ninyo sa akin. Pero dahil nandito ako, magpapasalamat nga yung mama sa inyo sa tulong ninyo. And I'd like to tell you frankly, it has to stop because it is destroying my country. And ang una talaga is, bakit hindi tayo nagtitake up yung corruption? So, sa panahon ko, 888, bukas na yan. Tapos sabi ko sa RPN, si Secretary Andanar, after the news sa PTV4, I think, it's the government channel, i-post na doon, i-text mo lang, opisina, the agency, Rodrigo Duterte, Office of the President, humihingi ng 50 mil sa lalabas yan doon. But I will also give them the right to be heard. They can also text back. Bakit nagtagal? Pero sa lahat ng gobyerno ngayon, except those without or beyond my control, yung mga separate judiciary pati Congress, it's 1 month. 1 month ang papel mo. It's approve or disapprove, palabasin mo 1 month. Sa syudad ko noon sa about 3 days. Business clearance, electrical connections, yung sa bumbero na yan, isa pa yan. Butit na laap, kayo, isa rin kayong... Kasi yung business, it has to pass by the... Pagdating doon sa police, doon sa fire department, yung building clearance mo, kinigay ba? Pagbigay ng papel, pabilihan ka ng fire extinguisher. May contact yan sila, mga fire extinguisher. Kaya mabuti pa, pag nandiyan sila, sunugin mo na yung bahay mo. Bullshit ka. Sige, patayin mo yan ng extinguisher mo. Ganon ang racket yan. And everything doon sa LTO, but I place General Galvante. He's very good. Attorney Delgras, basta yung regulation, yung nire-regulate. So sabi ko sa cabinet, the least intervention, the better. The least ang pakialam natin dyan sa papatakbo ng gobyerno. So 1 month tayong lahat. Pati ako. And down the line, sabi ko kay Secretary Sueno ng DILG to establish an orderly procedure. 3 days. Yung mga mayors, pag di kayo bigay ninyong authority sa Doon sa sinong demonyong gusto niyang bigyan niya. Basta 3 days. Ngayon, ayaw kong makipag-away. I know that yung local officials are only under my supervision. I do not have the control gaya ng cabinet. The cabinet is under my control and supervision. Meaning to say, you can change their decision. That is control. Kunyari may decision si Secretary Andanar, ay hindi ko nagustuhan, I can change it. But sa mga local, is they're elected, siyempre, hindi ka makipaalam. But I see to it that everything is orderly and, of course, correct. Pag hindi correct, diyan tayo hindi magkaintindihan. I do not want really to interfere. The least intervention sa amin. But I would like to urge, hinahamon ko ang local government because this piece of memo to reach them. Huwag ninyong masyadong pahirapan talaga ang Pilipino. Otherwise, ako di na makatakbo. At meron silang sinasabi na hindi ko matapos ang 6 years ko. Yung iba sabi nila, makudita ako. Yung sabi iba mga taga-Amerika, lahat ng Pilipino sa Amerika magpunta doon sa Manila kasi, sige, mag-uwi ang lahat ng Pilipino. Bagsak tayo doon sa ilalim ng Manila Bay. Tignan mo. Sa hangin nila, mga hangin ito, they think that they can change. Who are you to change the choice of the people? But pero ako, sabi ko nga, huwag niyo akong takutin. Because I became president by almost a miracle to me. At least sabi ninyo, pera yan, terorismo. Well, you're entitled to your own opinion. But you guys, you were living witnesses to what transpired during the last election. That's a destiny. So if God wants me to be there only 2 years, He will find the reason to oust me. Either He will kill me, babagsak ako, o ang military, magsabi sila, ayaw na namin. Ay, sige. Pero na lang yung kudita madugo yan. Kasi hindi rin talaga ako lalabas dyan sa opisina ko buhay. Patayin mo muna ako. Pero sige, 3 years. Kayo, wala dito, linya. Huwag na tayo magpatayan. Right hand. General, kami na ngayon. Di, sige, bye-bye. Inyo na. O di kayo, so you solve the problem of the Philippines. Hindi ba ganon? So, what does that mean to me? That is part of my destiny. Huwag ninyong akong takutin kasi para sa akin, bigay ng Diyos. Yan ang buhay ko, pati yung trabaho. Ngayon, anytime kunin niya sa akin yan, then that is the part of the history of my presidency. So, forget about yung auster. Kasi pag mainit ang ulo ko, ang tingin ko sa inyo, puro drug addict, bang. Kita niyo yung ganon? Mamili, kayo, yung iba siguro, takutin ninyo ng ganon. Mahirap yan. Alam mo, palagay tayo niyang sinasabi ko pa noon sa mga asawa ko, sagutin mo ako kasi ako ang matapang. Guwapo, questionable yan. Hindi naman tayo tisoy kagaya kay Senator Cayetano. Ordinaryo lang, pero we have to do it right. But what I can really assure you is that until the last drug pusher, until, my God, criminal, international crime, whatever is your name, and the EU and all, until the last drug pusher is out of the streets, until the last drug lord, then we stop. Then I will declare that the war has ended. When? Until the last day of my term, if it needs be. Ganon ang istorya niya. Hindi ninyo ako naintindihan. Kasi hindi nyo sinusunod ang utak ko kasi hindi nyo ako kilala. That's the problem. Hindi ako kilala ng mga elitista, mga oligarchs. Hindi naman ako kilala ng mga politiko. Do not threaten me. Mariusep. Ngayon, kung sabihin mo tuloy na ang mga lahat ng magaganda sa Pilipinas hindi na makalapit sa akin, problema yan, ma'am. So, gaganda ang buhay natin. In the fullness of God's time, gaganda ang by the grace of Allah. Assalamualaikum, aking mga kapatid. Gaganda yan, sigurado ako. I give you my word. I give you my honor. Talagang malinis itong gobyerno to. And crime has to stop so that it will not bug the Filipino people of their kung paano natin pagandahin ang bayan. I'm 71. I do not even expect I could complete the whole that's too far away. Tatlong buwan lang tayo, bakbaka na eh. So, but no more yung umuwi kayo. Kaya kayo, pagka may maghingi sa inyo, sa airport pa lang, sampalin mo na kagad. Totoo. I will authorize you to use, huwag naman barilin kasi. Sabagay, galing man kayo sa labas. No more yung bala-bala, kakainin mo yan. Sabi ko, pag sinabi kong, huwag ninyo akong hiyain, mga kasama ko sa gobyerno, huwag ninyo akong hiyain. Do not put me to shame kasi talagang babanatan kita. Maniwala ka. Ay, so, magtanong ka lang taga Davao. Taga Davao, nung na-eleksyon ako, sabi ko, criminals, go out of my city because if I find you here, I will kill you. That is a legitimate and valid statement. Sabi ko, mga durugista, umalis kayo. Pag hindi kayo umalis, papatayin ko kayo. Yung hindi umalis, patay. Yung iba, ewan ko, karamihan ng problema nila sa Pilipino, sa Malaysia. Kasi nandoon yung mga, pati sa Hong Kong, di nagdispatan, doon kayo sa ibang lugar. Huwag sa Davao City. So, look at Davao City. It was ahead of its time. I was just pumuputok pati yung simbahan natin, airport. But because talagang hinawakan ko, na medyo magulo, pero along the way, it was almost, sabi ko nga in the speech ko, it will be a rough ride. Come and join me. Diba sa inaugural speech ko? Kung ibig sabihin, madugo to. Pero kung, then, stand by my side. Ubusin natin yung bad boys. Kasi ako bad boy noon. Nag-graduate naman ako. Good boy na ako ngayon. Kaya nito ha. Si Sunny Dominguez. Kababata ko to. Tabaw. Since kindergarten. Valedictorian yan. Valedictorian. Sa atin namin sa high school, second year, nasipa ako. Siya patuloy ng valedictorian. Ako napunta ng Digos, Davao del Sur. Utang anak tagal. Na took me 7 years sa high school. Palakbay lang. Sabi ng nanay ko, Rodrigo, ang teacher yun eh. Wala ka nag-ipag-asa sabi ko siya, 75. Tumatama na yan. Basta makaakyat lang, parang hagdanan yan eh. Kung hindi ka makailangan na mag-95 malayo, mahulog ka pa dyan. Nandahan lang. Sabi na, so my mother never really, what's sad is that hindi niya ako naabutan sana maging presidente. At tatay ko talagang tagal yun namatay. He left this universe. Talagang walang, sabi niya, hanggang pantalan. Bisaya yan eh. That's a cliche or an idiom in Visayan. Pag sinabi hanggang pantalan ka lang, ibig sabihin yung kargador ka lang. Ayan ang tatay ko, ikaw? Oh, hindi kami no, I mean, he died. Hindi ko masaya maganda ang relasyon namin. Kaya hindi siya believe sa akin. Na ikaw, pantalan ka lang. Si kargador, gusto mo? Sabi ko, basta bayaran lang ako, sige karga ko. Okay naman yan. Kaya 75. Sino ba? Yasay. Karumate ko man to. Karumate kami sa law school. UP siya, Padre Paura, San Beda ako. Bright. Doresa. Doon ako napunta sa high school na nandoon si Doresa. Naabutan ko siya. Nauna pa siya graduate sa akin. Anak niya. High school. Ano ba to? Totoo. Doresa was valedictorian pag-graduate. Puro yan sila valedictorian. Ang Defense Secretary, John Lorenzana. Alam mo, hindi ko alam yan. Pastor Kibuloy is from doon pinanganak ko, Tabato City. Si Delvin assigned on he brought in the second 1 battalion of Scout Rangers noon. Davao, magulo. At siya, tapos nakilala kami because I was mayor. Kaya siya, nung naghanap pakapa ako, valedictorian. Alam mo kung sinagsabi sa akin? Pastor Kibuloy. Yan ang valedictorian namin. Sa PMA. PMA ito. Puro valedictorian. Kair. Good lawyer. Si John Esperon. He is my advisor sa national security. So, tignan mo ang buhay. Tignan mo ang buhay. Trabahante ko lahat. Diba? So what's there's no secret actually. All you have to do, baski you have to have values in life. Baski ako ganito lang, sabi lang pumapatay, yan ang gusto mo eh. Sinabi ko na sa inyo, hinto. Ginusto mo yan. You have the free choice. Kaya itong mga extradition, walang. I look beyond that. Hindi ako nagsasabi na patayin mo yan si ating ambassador. Sinabi ko lang, magtrabaho kayo and give me a clean environment. Yan ang order ko kay Bato, yung PNP chief. Ito naman, kasing yabang ko. Tinawagan ko, Batole ka. Gusto mo pa na matagal ka sa pwesto mo dyan? Sir. Kasama tayo, sir. Huwag ka masyadong payabang yung unahan mo pa ang presidente. Tumahimik ka dyan, oh. Huwag mo kunin yung estilo, hindi mo papanood. Sige, pagkatapos mo tumakbo ka ng back-upan kita. Kaya mananalo yan. Kaya ganun-ganun lang yung uli. Pero by that time, kung you have to create the problem to react to it, because if there is no problem, nothing to react to, so wala ka. That's the reason why. You have to have a problem, and you are the problem solver, but you have to create the problem. You do not solve the problem, you do not react based as no problem at all. Wala. So, ganito lang ang panahon. I'm just reacting to the problem. Kaya kung wala yan, sabi ko nga, yan you have also my word, 6 years ago. But if they can craft not the cabinet, but yung peace natin. Nagkipag-usap ako sa komunista. Nag-uusap na tayo ngayon sa Oslo. Doresa is really a jet-lagged guy. Pag ganun-ganun, kailan ka dumating? Kahapon anong gano'n siya. Sabagay, international celebrity niya siya sa iyong. Siya yung tinatanggap ng iyong. Siya yung tignan. Sabi ko, sige, inyo na yan si Duresa. Marami pa ako dito. He's handling the PR, goodwill, gano'n. Ako naman, buga ng buga. Because I do not want, gano'n ako baski tanongin mo, buhay pa naman si Presidente Arroyo. Baski sa harap ni Presidente Arroyo noon. Because I was taken in, di ba? Ginawa niya akong advisor o consultant on public security. Pagka nandiyan kami sa loob, patawag kami, tapos hindi kami nagkaintindihan yung mga general. Nagmumura ako. Kayo dyan So, gano'n lang ang bunganga ko, but wala akong paksabayan lang ako. Kaya, baski anong klaseng argument natin, wag lang sana, it is an issue of my country. Talagang makaproblema tayo. Kaya yan drugs, it is not really an issue of drugs. It is the survival of the next generation. Kasi kung puro may tama yan lahat, it starts with the family. Magsiseparate talaga. Pangkahan kita, putulin niya para hindi mag-abot ng Pilipinas. Huwag na lang mapapasubo pa. It's okay. Ang pamilya talagang sasabog. It starts with the family dysfunctional. Then ang anak mo problema, magnakaw na, that start na. Ipagbili yung mga kotse ninyo. Hanggang wala na. And 1 year, 2 years use of shabu. Sabi nga ng Amerikano, sila mo nagsabi, will shrink the brain of a human being. Now, how many of the Filipinos, of the 4 million, have their brains shrunk already by shabu? Tanungin ko ang human rights. You worry about the 3,000? Hindi nga nyo, sabi 3,000. Let me ask you, who was my 50th victim? Sinong pangalan? Babae o lalaki? Anong edad niya? Saan tinapon? Anong ginamit? Mahirap yan ganun. You just make a sweeping stick tapos ipakulong mo ako. Buang. Takutin ng ganun. I have this, it is sabi ko nga kung totoo man, ikulong na ninyo ako, I do not mind. 71, how many years more? 5, 6, 7? Ay, bakit? May wala akong ambisyon mag-abot ng 80. I will even ask God now, please, pagkatapos ko sa presidency o natanggal ako dyan, tapusin mo na ako. Kasi gusto ko na magpunta sa nanay pati tatay ko kung nakuhaan sila. Ganoon lang yan. Wala akong ambisyon dyan. Actually, tapos na ako. I can even see my life in front of me. I never lost an election since 1988. Wala na akong mahingi sa Diyos. Kaya ang hinihingi ko, buhay ko na lang. Na magmasagana hanggang makatapos ako sa trabaho ko. So, wala akong ambisyon. Pera, Sus Maria. Wala, totoo. Wala akong fascination. Baski noon pa, yung classmate ng kanya, no? Tiis kaming lahat. Wala akong kutsi-kutsi, kagalkal. Totoo. Binangga pa ni Yasay. Karumate kami, Yasay pati ako. Kaharap namin si Dulay, yung BIR, pati Bebot Belio. Mga puro Ilocano yan, kami dito. Kaya, ako komportable kami. Dormitorio So I can manage well with every crowd sa Pilipinas. Dulay na yan, he's very honest. Baski nung taga-YMCA pa kami, sa dormitorio, minsan Holy Week. So, may PX doon, nakawan. So, ninakaw namin yung mga sigarilyo na maganda. So, pagdating ng pulis, pag-report, nung hanap, ang pulis nga tanong, meron, bakit nga siya? Bakit yung lahat ng sigarilyo, yung pagtapon sigarilyo, itapon, marami dyan yung mga Winston, yung imported, siyempre nakaw, siyempre ko. Aywan namin kung sino ang nagnakaw. Pero dulay, ayaw talaga yan. Wala yan. Bebot, bilyo. So, lahat kami nagtatrabaho. Do not place any premium sa aming posisyon. Wala yan, Presidente. Ako, I have to, ang tawag lang niya sa akin, Mayor. Because I have asked everybody, I'm not comfortable with President. So, Mayor, okay lang. Tawag niya ako, Mayor. Totoo. Do not call me President. I don't like it. Mayor, mas, kasi hindi nga ako. Sabihin niyo, yung Duterte ninyo, hindi pang President yan. Okay. I'm not, the issue is not really whether you like me or not as your President. The issue is ang corruption, criminality, drugs. Matapos ko lang yan tatlo na yan, maganda na ang bayan ko. Aangat na yan. Kaya bigyan mo ninyo ako. There are so many issues now about my going to China, about my relation with the U.S. I am not picking a quarrel with anybody. I just want to be friends with all. Then America maybe will understand it. But it takes time for them to, understand geopolitics, where I find myself now in the matters of the issues global, in sa business. Then they want to put up another bank. Then you have this another body. At ang tayo hindi membro kasi pobre lang. Kalkulukuhan to sabi. Tapos sa EU, they want you to, alam mo, ewan ko, pinirmahan ba tayo sa protocol? Sa gas emission? Hindi ako pipirma niya, yawa na yun. Huwag mo akong limitan kasi ratio and proportion ganon. Hindi ka pwedeng magtaas. Because ang climate change, kung bababa, ganon rin. Anak na. Because the industrial nations of the world, you spewed up a lot of poison and gas all throughout this 100 years. Starting with your conquest sa Middle East. You took advantage of the fat of the land. Including the Philippines noon, 50 years and 400 years we suffered imperialism. Tapos ngayon, ganonin ninyo kami. Kayong umabot na, all along, you poison the entire planet. And yet, hindi na kami makataas. So, how can now I set up itong mga industrial zones? Kung limitahan mo ako, you have to approach it in a very realistic way. It could not be a binding treaty if it does not work to the best interest of my country. Kayo yung dyan, ilan mo ng ating factors? When did we ever improve? Almost stagnant nga tayo eh. So we have to push talagang, and the only way to do it is really push forward. The only forward move that we can make is mag-umpisa sa gobyerno ninyo. Mag-umpisa talaga. Huwag kayo, sabi ko sa airport, una pa lang gustong humingi, sabi ni Duterte, sampaling ka raw. Tapos sampaling, tawagan mo ako. Totoo, pakita ko sa inyo paano magsipa ng tao sa publiko. Ay ako, gano'n, talagang sisipa ako ng tao. Sabi nila, Duterte, hindi naman nalo yan kasi nanampal. Kung ayaw, gusto ng Diyos, di wala na. O pagkatapos ng gusto ng Diyos. Kaya huwag ninyo akong sisihin. Kung gusto ninyo, may galit kayo, gusto ninyong sigawan ninyo ang Diyos. Kasi ang Diyos naglagay sa akin dito. Okay? So, we all believe in God. Ako naman is, well, ako, sir, ang pamilya ko, even my son married a Maranao, and mother, pati Tausug ang tatay niya. So it kind of mix in my, mga apo ko, half of the line there is, are all Moro. Each other Tausug or Maranao. Ako, well, but we believe in God. So God says that in the fullness of God's time, what He prophesied for this nation, the Philippines, will be realized. So with that promise of God, hindi yan akin. Ako, utusan niya ako. I will work to what strictly in accordance with what God wanted me. Kasi nga ang pagka-presidente ko, almost destiny. It's a miracle to me. So He wants me to improve my country, stop corruption, and make the lives of the Filipinos comfortable. Maraming salamat po.